Hello and welcome back to Luna English Podcast. I'm Luna and right now I'm actually sitting by my window watching the rain tap against the glass. It's one of those quiet mornings where you can almost hear your own thoughts, you know? I've got my tea and I was just reading some of your messages and thank you for letting me be here with you. I've been thinking a lot about ambition lately. We talk so much about goals and motivation, but not enough about what we have to let go of to get there. Every dream, every goal, it asks for something in return. Comfort, rest, maybe even old habits that once felt safe. For me, the first real step towards meaningful growth was swapping out those little distractions for mindful study. It's not glamorous, but it's real. When I started teaching English, I had to commit to slow, intentional progress. It meant choosing the less travelled path, and honestly, it was lonely sometimes. There were evenings I spent planning lessons instead of relaxing, and moments where I wondered if anyone would even notice the effort. But those small sacrifices, they're the foundation of everything that comes after. You know, true progress isn't always about adding more to your plate. Sometimes it's about letting go old habits, relationships, or even self-doubt that quietly holds you back. I used to think I had to be the perfect teacher, always prepared, always polished, but that belief, it was exhausting. I remember this one period where I was so focused on being perfect that I stopped enjoying teaching altogether. It wasn't until I let go of that need for approval, that constant pressure, that I actually started to grow. Especially with language learning, letting go of perfection or the need for others' approval can unlock so much unexpected growth. I might be wrong, but I think a lot of us carry these invisible anchors. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or I have to get it right every time. The moment I released that, I felt lighter, and my students did too. Sacrifice isn't just about losing something. It's about shaping who you are and finding new forms of belonging. When you step away from old comforts, loneliness and doubt can creep in. But those feelings, they're not signs of failure. They're signals that you're transforming. I'll share a little story. When I first started recording podcasts, it was just me, a cheap microphone, and a blanket over my head to block out the noise. I felt so alone, honestly. No one around me really understood what I was doing, but over time, as I kept showing up, a quiet, supportive community began to form. It didn't replace the need for approval, but it gave me something deeper, a sense of purpose and connection that I hadn't expected. Here's the thing about sacrifice. It often leads to gains you never saw coming. Maybe it's a new skill, a new friend, or just a deeper sense of who you are. I try to practice gratitude for the small wins, like a kind comment from a listener or a breakthrough with a student. When you step out of your comfort zone, you reinforce your commitment to growth. And if you can stay curious about the changes you're experiencing, even the challenges start to feel like invitations to discover new strengths. One thing that's helped me is a daily reflection practice. Just a few minutes to acknowledge the sacrifices I've made that day and how they're shaping my growth. It's a way to remind myself that these choices matter. I also set little goals to step outside my comfort zone each week. Maybe it's having a conversation with a native speaker or trying a new teaching technique. And when feelings of loneliness or doubt pop up, I try to observe them with mindfulness, not judgment. They're just part of the process, not a sign that I'm failing. It's important to pause and reflect on the growth you've achieved, especially the kind that comes from sacrifice. I like to jot down a gratitude journal entry each evening, noting the specific sacrifices I made and the positive changes they brought. And then I set a new, manageable goal for the next month, something that pushes my comfort zone just a little further. It's not about big leaps, but about reinforcing the habit of intentional growth. Growth is so much easier when you're not doing it alone. I always encourage my students and myself to find a community of learners or professionals who share similar goals. That support network can make all the difference. Regular check-ins with a mentor or a peer help keep you accountable, and they're a great space to talk about progress, setbacks, and strategies. I've also found that having a personal mantra or affirmation can really reinforce your commitment, especially when things get tough. I try to implement a weekly reflection routine, just reviewing the sacrifices I've made, the growth they've fostered, and where I want to go next. It's a way to stay grounded and motivated. And being part of a community, whether online or in person, helps foster accountability and shared learning. I also create personalised affirmations that I recite daily, just to keep that growth mindset strong, especially during challenging times. One thing I recommend is starting a weekly journal dedicated to insights from your sacrifices and growth experiences. It deepens your self-awareness and helps you see patterns over time. Joining a local or online learning group can also give you new perspectives and a sense of shared journey. And if you can, schedule monthly meetings with a mentor or accountability partner to review progress and celebrate milestones. It really reinforces your growth trajectory. Actively participating in groups aligned with your goals is key. Whether it's language learning or personal growth, being part of a supportive network helps you stay motivated. I like to set up weekly or bi-weekly check-ins with a mentor or accountability partner, and I keep a set of personal affirmations focused on resilience and progress, reciting them daily to keep my mindset strong. I always say, don't underestimate the power of community. Find online or local groups dedicated to your goals and make regular check-ins with a mentor or peer part of your routine. And don't forget those daily affirmations. Reminding yourself of your resilience and growth can really help you stay committed, especially when things get tough. Weekly self-reflection is a habit I swear by. It helps you assess your progress, learn from your experiences, and adjust your strategies as needed. Staying engaged with a community of learners or mentors keeps you motivated and accountable. And weaving personalized affirmations into your daily routine helps maintain that growth mindset, even when you hit bumps in the road. Sharing your progress and setbacks within your support network is so valuable. It fosters accountability and gives you constructive feedback. I also recommend a structured weekly review session, analysing your growth, reassessing your goals, and spotting new opportunities for learning. And in your community interactions, practice mindful listening and empathy. It deepens relationships and enriches your growth journey. At some point, it helps to develop a personalized growth plan that brings together daily reflection, community engagement, and new learning techniques. It keeps your momentum going. Identify specific milestones for your next phase and create a timeline to track progress. And look for opportunities for collaborative learning. Group projects or language exchanges can really broaden your support network. I've found that celebrating small victories each week helps reinforce the positive impact of your sacrifices. It keeps motivation high. Visualization is another powerful tool. Imagine yourself overcoming challenges and reaching your goals. And each month, try to find a new community or resource to engage with. It keeps your learning fresh and your support network growing. Growth isn't a one-time thing. It's a continuous journey. I like to do regular self-assessments to track my evolving goals and adjust my strategies. Seeking out diverse learning environments like different language groups or cultural events keeps things interesting and motivating. And always set new challenges for yourself. It's how you keep deepening your commitment to growth. Community really is a catalyst for growth. Find a group that aligns with your goals and participate actively. It reinforces your commitment and gives you a sense of belonging. I also recommend bi-weekly check-ins with a mentor or peer and daily affirmations focused on resilience and progress. It's a simple routine, but it makes a big difference during challenging moments. A weekly journaling habit is a great way to track your sacrifices, lessons learned, and the gains you've achieved. It helps you see just how far you've come. Regular participation in community events or language exchanges lets you apply what you've learned and deepens your sense of belonging. And those daily affirmations, they're like little reminders to keep going, even when it's tough. Consistency is key. I try to establish a daily ritual, maybe a morning vocabulary review or an evening reflection, to embed growth habits into my routine. Being part of a community that shares your goals fosters accountability and motivation. And, as always, keep those affirmations handy to reinforce your mindset during setbacks. Sharing your journey with others, your progress, your setbacks, creates accountability and opens you up to feedback. I like to do a structured weekly review, analysing growth and reassessing goals. And in every interaction, I try to practice mindful listening and empathy. It's amazing how much you can learn from others when you really listen. Building meaningful relationships within your learning community is so important. Engage in conversations, join collaborative projects, and attend workshops or meetups to expand your network. I also set monthly goals for community involvement, maybe hosting a language exchange or leading a discussion. It deepens your commitment and helps you practice leadership skills. I know I keep saying it, but community really is powerful. Find a group that aligns with your goals and participate actively. It keeps you motivated and accountable. Bi-weekly check-ins with a mentor or peer and daily affirmations focused on resilience and progress can help you maintain a growth mindset, especially when things get tough. Participating in a group dedicated to your goals fosters a sense of community and shared purpose. Monthly meetings with a mentor or peer help you review progress and refine your strategies. And don't forget those daily affirmations. They're a small thing, but they can really motivate you to keep going, even when the journey feels long. I like to combine language practice with personal reflection, maybe journaling about my learning experiences each morning. It helps me see the bigger picture. Creating a visual reminder or affirmation and placing it somewhere visible can keep your growth journey top of mind. And setting weekly mini goals like ordering food in a new language or joining an online discussion helps you apply new skills in real life. Patience and persistence are so important for long-term growth. Progress is often gradual and it takes consistent effort. I encourage keeping a personal growth journal to document daily reflections, setbacks, and breakthroughs. And don't forget to celebrate milestones, not just as achievements, but as reaffirmations of your commitment. A visual progress tracker can help you see how far you've come. A weekly routine for deep self-reflection, journaling about your sacrifices, what you've learned, and how you've grown can be really powerful. Mindfulness meditation is another tool I use to enhance self-awareness and manage feelings of doubt, and creating a visual progress map or timeline helps you see the cumulative impact of your efforts. I try to develop a daily affirmation routine that emphasizes resilience, adaptability, and self-compassion. It helps reinforce my growth mindset. Each week, I pick one challenge that pushes my boundaries, maybe a difficult conversation or a new learning method, and reflect on the experience. And I keep a visual growth tracker to monitor progress and celebrate small wins. Joining a learning community related to your goals fosters a sense of belonging and shared purpose. Regular check-ins with a mentor or peer help you stay motivated during sacrifices. Personalized affirmations that emphasize resilience and progress can really reinforce your growth mindset during challenging times. I like to start my mornings with a routine that integrates language practice and mindfulness, maybe a short meditation followed by vocabulary review. Weekly reflection sessions help me assess progress, celebrate sacrifices, and identify areas for further growth. And visual cues or affirmations in my environment remind me of my journey and keep me motivated.